Alright, there I decided to go ahead and talk about Yoganic as well as some of the stuff we see in the gym in the last couple of months. So I was typing Yoganic, laugh out loud, Cali muscles in there too, but go to Yoganic. You guys want to play around with it. Basically, just what it says, you birth a backtrap. Sorry, backtrap for those that don't know, it's kind of like a pen testing type of OS run on Linux. You download from here. This is what I download, hence why I actually everything already downloaded. So, alright, now I go to VirtualBox and create a new machine. And of course I'll say Kali Linux. Hit next. Use about a gig of my RAM. Definitely want to create a new virtual disk. VDI image. Dynamically allocated so they can get bigger. I won't have to use a predefined size, so when it gets bigger, I won't have to sweat it. So now I pick, okay, that's done. And of course, then decides wants to freeze up while I'm recording. Here we go. Kyle VDI, yep, right there on my regular home drive. Hit create. And of course, I want to do a few things with the settings, so let me go to settings. This is probably a good tutorial for those people that are trying to use Linux for the first time. So like to have this stuff bidirectional and working up front. This goes for share clipboard and drag and drop. So I see what's going on. Bump this boy up. That's 4 meg, so it looks reasonable. Don't need all that running. System, show all this checked properly. Have my speed going good. Audio default, NAT, because you're not doing too much right now. That's it. I'm gonna go ahead and use the share folder I used for my other projects earlier. So I'll go to my documents, VBox share, hit OK. Doesn't want to auto mount it, hit OK again. So when I install everything, it's up and running. Hit OK. Close another script of installation. Now I'll say, wait a minute, back to settings. But that's a goofball right now. Go to storage, and now I gotta pick the actual disk to boot from. And right now I want to go to my downloads folder where I just download Yoganic. Here it is. Hit OK. Now let me go ahead and start this boy up and go to the installation process. Hit OK. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the graphical installation. So I figured I must kill two birds with one stone, show you a little bit of Yoganic, as well as tell you some experience I had in the gym over the last couple of months. And as mentioned earlier, I will be talking about some of the stupid stuff that I've seen. And of course, this will definitely be a whole bunch of gym crimes. So let me start off by mentioning this. He who has the heaviest weight in the gym has right away. With that being said, yesterday I had the misfortune of having to do heavy deadlifts with somebody that decides to do bicep curls with dumbbells, mind you, right in the power rack right next to me within an inch distance. I told him, excuse me, I don't know how many times I had to lighter weight, like, excuse me, I'm deadlifting some serious weight or about to add some more weight. Please move, because this is not going to be safe for either one of us. So I do my set with 400 pounds, and I literally slammed the weight down for him to get to the point he didn't understand. He's still doing circuit training, bouncing all over the gym, and decided to do curls near the squat rack when the whole gym was open, Mike. This is around 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday morning. Well, here's the thing. I get to my 495, get it clean. Then I finally say, you know what? I felt good that day. Let me get to 525. Felt good, felt strong. As soon as I went to pick the weight up, this moron decides to get right in front of the power rack and start curling. So I get the weight about 1/3 of the way up and had to let it go because my concentration broke and I had to like step my back because of this idiot. When the weight hit the ground, he finally looked around like, oh, I'm sorry, and then walked off. I swear I think the guy was just trying to ruin my set that day. Okay, back to the installation. Call this host name, we're going to call it Cali because the only Cali is going to be on here. Go ahead and keep this blank. Don't feel like really messing around with the configuration at this moment. So of course, you got to type in your root password. Make sure there's something that's secure that only you will know. Nothing too open. So with this being a virtual image, I'm going to keep this very simple because I'm just playing around with it. And obviously, I'm not going to let you guys see the password because that would be stupid. Like the guy who does sides to walk right in front of a squat right to curl where people are trying to deadlift. And yeah, that is like one of the stupid things you can do. Another stupid thing you can do in the gym is do ab crunches where people are trying to do dumbbell chest press. Here's a word of advice. You see somebody with a 100-pound dumbbell doing this to failure. Don't get right next to him and start doing ab crunches. Also, when you get done, actually I want to just use guided, well, sorry. Stop my rant for a minute and go back to the installation again. So, guided with the entire disk and encrypted LNV. This is just a test, so you know what? Yeah, I might as well encrypt to see if this works. So go ahead, throw all the stuff in there, hit continue on. You know, just throw everything in this one partition because I'm brand new to this. Rinse the dish. Yep, go ahead and do this. Yeah, here's the thing. 100-pound dumbbells. Your face right here doing ab crunches. Comes to tell you, you see a huge dumbbell right here in your face, you probably don't want to be right underneath it. So this guy was like, oh, I'm sorry. They moved to the other side. So this is what happened. He goes around, does another circuit in the gym. Workout partner comes in, grabs the 125s, kicks him up, get ready to press him. This moron goes right next to him on the other side of the bench to start crunching. And mind you, my buddy's nowhere near as calm as I am, and he more or less went ballistic. The guy accused him of roid rage. I was like, no. He basically decided to enforce his rule of don't be a freaking moron and try to do ab crunches when someone has a dumbbell that weighs more than you over your head. So what I advise people, don't do crunches or floor skull crunches on the floor where people are trying to bench press. Had the same happen to me, oh yeah, a week ago. Somebody was actually decided they want to actually grab some dumbbells. I don't know why they want to use the floor instead of a bench. I don't see how it's going to be effective by doing a skull crush. Sitting you're going like this. Going on the floor or on the bench is not going to make a difference if you're using free weights. Cable, I can understand. In a cross-cable machine where you're not in front of people with free weights. This moron grabbed dumbbells where people were doing bench press to do skull crushes with dumbbells. I'm like, 2 reasons why this is stupid. Number 1, as you're doing this and someone's doing this, the dumbbells can collide with each other, and since you're on the floor, you can have 2 dumbbells hit you right smack in the face. You know, common sense, people. Common sense. Seriously, what is wrong with people? Oh yeah, and that's not bad enough. Another dumbbell bench incident happened to me 2 months ago. As I'm doing them, some idiot decides to get right up behind me and start doing upright rows. And he was so close to the point where my dumbbell was literally hovering over his foot. Now mind you, when that happened, I was like, I grabbed the dumbbell fortunately at the last second, and I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? This moron's still doing his upright rows. Right over where I'm doing presses. Another reason it's stupid is, once again, my dumbbell could have collided with his barbell. And one of us could have had an effed up shoulder or something else could have went wrong. You know, sitting around talking about the dumb thing I'm in the gym can take a very, very long time. Just like this eraser of the partition table is taking a very long time. So right now, I think I'll pause the video in my rant and let this finish up so you guys won't be sitting here all day watching this go on. Alright, now this thing is almost done, finally doing the partitioning work. I think now would be a good time for me to go ahead and hit record again. Let's then continue recording. And one thing I definitely want to make sure I do is thank Omar Isuf for coming up with the 500-pound max rep deadlift challenge. And I notice I got a lot more new subscribers right now, so everyone that just subscribed to me from that, I'd like to tell everyone out there, thank you once again for going ahead and subscribing to my page. I'll make sure I get some good videos for you guys, good content, not only fitness, but also some IT stuff like I'm doing right now with this Kyle Linux and other information. And hopefully in the near future, speaking on Kyle Linux, if I get big enough, maybe one day I can do something with Cali Muscle, but who knows. But yeah, also definitely want to thank Yoganic Flow and people up there because doing all their yoga stuff actually giving the flexibility to actually be able to go ahead and get into the 500 max rep challenge with deadlifting, because otherwise I probably would have snapped everything up, copyright Hodge twins. Well, now that I mentioned that, go ahead and check out Yoganic Flow at yoganicflow.com. If you're already in the Detroit area, they have plenty good yoga programs for you guys to check out. Even have their blog right here and their schedule. So you go ahead and check out Yoganic Flow. Just do a Google search for them. And I'm pretty sure that right now they each have a few videos on YouTube. I should know because I'm the guy that did them. So without further ado, let's go back to Kali Linux and see how that installation is going right now. Let's see, got VirtualBox right here. Things should finish up very soon. Yeah, I got thought like, hey, you guys are probably getting bored of me just ranting about like done stuff in the gym, so I had to go ahead, take a break, and thank some people. And yeah, Kali Linux is still going very slowly, so let me pause this. Okay, now back to recording. This is almost like Chinese water torture. And I might as well go ahead and start a few more stories of gym horrors I saw in the last 2 months. I respect people that work in the gym, especially even those that actually are doing the maintenance and everything else. But at the same time, guys, be mindful of the gym environment that you're working in, because someone may easily get injured. So now we're looking at encryption passphrase. So I'll just say, hey, call something that's easy to remember. Also remember that when you're in here to have your num lock on. Passphrase, I'm just going to keep this simple because once again this doesn't have to be the highest security. So normally you want this to be 20 characters, but now it's going to pick a random 10 character one because I'm not trying to lock myself out. Continue. And go ahead and let this boy partition itself. Oh, going back to what I said earlier. Gym staff, I appreciate you guys, your hard work, but at the same time, a buddy of mine almost ended up with a very bad injury last week because someone decided that, hey, guess what? I'm going to continue him up even though this man is doing squats. So a good buddy of mine actually had 3 plates loaded onto the bar, and there's also a buddy of mine that's honestly known to go 80G, pretty much gets his butt all the way down the ground when he squats. So think about that. As he's squatting, he knows it's a very wet floor. Racks the bar, and of course goes ballistic on the janitor, telling him like, dude, book the blah, 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 it's wrong with you. All the guy out of the gym, but to be brutally honest, I think that might have been a justifiable rant, and not just some roid rage, because here's the thing. You're squatting, and someone gets behind you and starts mopping the floor. And mind you, if you're mopping the floor, that makes the floor wet and dangerous, so that may not be the wisest choice or decision to do while people are working out during the middle of the day. If you're going to mop the area around a squat rack, do it at nighttime when nobody's around in the gym. So basically, as soon as the gym closes, don't be cheap. pay your staff to stay a few minutes later and mop the floor then, especially in areas where they can cause injury, because then you will have to pay a lawsuit, which will cost you even more money. But then again, like one thing I've learned, common sense and logic don't really apply to some people, and that's just how it is. Okay, now the installation is starting to happen, and this is going to take a while, so let me pause the video once again. Okay, now I'm resuming the installation. Turns out this thing is kind of tricky with everything once you get everything encrypted, so you have to pick the one that's not encrypted. Hit continue. Let's go with defaults. See you again. Done center partition. Let's go. Hope this doesn't take all day. If it does, and for part 2, I'll just say, you know what, just run off the live disk, because yeah, there seem maybe some bugs or some issues trying to install Kali Linux to a VM. If that's the case, I'll just do the next video, run this off of just a live CD itself. But before I go, then now would be a good time to shout out my boy High Carb Joey. Gave me a shout out earlier, even liked my video.